Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to discuss about the partitions. So before going to partitions, I'll explain the scenario. Let's take our table with the sales, and this sales table has like 4 million records, and it has the data for 2010 to uh, 2014, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013. Sorry, up to 2013. Assume that every year has 1 million record. Okay, every year has 1 million records, so we have total of 4 million records. Now if I want to process my cube, what I will be doing, I have to get all the 4 million records, and then I have to process I have to get 4 million records from the table, then I have to implement that in the like wherever I want to load it, I'll be loading that all the 4 million records. And even out of this 4 million record, you might be seeing where the 2010, 2011, 2012, 2010, 11, 12 records might not be useful. Only 13 might be useful to me. And here, since 13 is useful at the same time, and but even though I need only 2013 data, let's assume we are in currently 2013, and I need only the 2013 data. But even though I need only 2013 data, but still I am processing all the 4 million records. Because of this, it will be overburden on the server, and it will also take more time. For that purpose, what I can do is that I can break the data into 4 groups, and I can store this one group, this one group, this is a one group, and this is a one group. 1, 2, 3, 4. And whenever I want to process, instead of processing all the data, I can only process the data for 2013, that has only 1 million. Now because of this, what will happen? Instead of processing all the records like 4 million, you are processing only 1 million. That means you are saving the time. So the same, when I convert into the technical perspective, I can say this as a partitions. I can break the data, I can divide the data into different partitions, and I can process only the partition which I need, so that it will reduce the burden on the server. It will also reduce the time. So I'll explain you. Now every table, whatever table I have, every table will have its partition. Every table at the backend data will be stored, and every table will have a partition. And partition you can do at the table level, not on the tabular entire model level. You can do at the table level. Whatever table I select, it will have the partition. By default, what the system does is that by default it will create only one partition. If I select any table, if I go to the partition, if I click here, I can see the partition here. I can see there is a partition created, only partition. It gives the number of rows, it gives the size, it gives the last process, and here I will be getting the query here. I'm not sure it's taking, there may be some issue with the performance. I have installed a lot of softwares that might be causing this. Yeah, see, I'll be getting that, and I'll also get the query here. Yep. Okay. That one, because there's a timeout expired, so that will be taken care. So here I'll be getting the query. Whatever the query I have, I'll be getting the query here. So this is the query, I got it here. Okay, generally this will be the query, and you can change the query accordingly. The same way, every table will have its own partition. Like every table, by default a partition is created to store the data. Now if you want to change the partitions, you can change accordingly. How many partitions you want, whatever you want, you can change accordingly. But one thing you have to remember all the time, I'll say no. First, you have to see on what you have to create a partition, how you can break the data. So here I say I have 4 million data, right? What is the best way to break the data of 4 million data, like into 4 groups? You can't break the data at the city level, because when you break at the city level, the user might be so let's take, I have break the data at the city level. So I have 4 cities: city 1, city 2, city 3, city 4. Okay, and I'll break that into 4 partitions: c1, c2, c3, c4. Now there is no chance that the user will update only one city. Now after 1 year he will update this city. No, he might update any city any day. Then because of that, you have to refresh all the partitions every day. So make sure that you have to analyze on what basis you do the partitions. First you have to be clear whether what basis you do the partitions. Now here I can do the partition on year level, because year is the one best that might change only the data at the year level. they are not going to change the data like previous days or previous 2 years or previous 3 years. That's the reason I'll create a partition for 2013. Every year I have created a partition for every year, and let's assume, as I said, we are assume that you are in 2013. So I'll process only 2013 partition. If you go to 2014, then I'll process the 2014 partition only. So here year is the one where I am going to partition on year. So first you have to analyze on what unit you are going to partition. And so for every table, a partition is created by default. A single partition is created on every table. Generally, we do the partition. See, if you see the dimensions, dimensions will never have date, like what is the date, on what date that record has added. You will not be having anything on the dimensions. The major thing, dates will be on the facts. That is where you will have the measures like amounts, and it will have the order date or something for you to for reference to get the date. Now I'll go to the internet sales and click on the partitions. When I click on this, then I'll get it here. It's taking some. I guess there's something issue with the network. We'll check it now. So what is the issue? Okay, so what it does is that it will show me the query, what query I'll be using here. Okay, so it says connect to the data source of for a table internet sales. Make sure that data source is available. Okay, I got it. Yep, because I restarted my system a few minutes ago. Because of that, the servers were the services were not started. I have to restart the service now. If I go here, it's a data source. My data source service is a tab. This is one I have. I'll right click here, start it, and then at the same time, I'll also right click on the SQL server. This is a this is a server from where I am getting the data. I'll click on the start. So now both will be started. Now we will check it. Done. I'll cancel this. I'll go here, click on the partitions for that table. Now let's see whether, yeah, now there is no data at all. If I click on the SQL query, now I'll get the query. What is the query I have? I have the select DBO fact internet sales star from DBO fact internet sales. This is the table I got, and you can see the partition. I got total rows of 60, 398, and the size is 915. And last process was on 11/30/2016, and this is by default partition name. And if I want to increase the partition, so generally on what column if I want to create a partition, I'll see the data. What's the best column for me to create a partition? Here you'll have the order date key, sales order number. Yeah, you have the order date key. So we'll create a partition on the order date key. Okay. So how I create a order date key is that we'll order date between this date to this date. That's what I'll create. I have the data from 2010 to 2016, I guess. If you see my Excel sheet, I have the data from 2010 to 2014. So whatever the data is before 2012, I'll create one partition, and 2013 I'll create one partition, 2014 greater than or equal to 2014 I'll create one partition. So first I'll modify the existing one. I'll say greater than or less than 2013, less than 2013. That is my partition. I'll click on the SQL. Now I'll change the SQL where order date between 2000 or order date less than or equal to or less than whatever the data I give, I can do it less than 2013 -01 -01. This is what I'll be giving here. Order date less than 2013. I can also give 00 00. I can also give time also if I want. If it is a time based one, I can give the time also here. I got it now. Order date between. I'll just copy it, or else I can create a new partition. When I click copy, automatically whatever the existing one I have, based on that, a new partition will be created. That will be not be greater than, it will be 2013. And here my order date is will be between 2013 and, because end of the day will be 31st, right? So I can keep it here. between command will be E. Yep. And so it will be 2012 12, then it will be 31st 11 59 59. I can have 999. This is my, if I want, I can also validate it, which say whether the validation is successful or not. It's a validated, the SQL has been validated. Good. Now I'll copy it again. So this one I'll be naming it as 2014. Okay, I'll say greater than or equal to 2014, greater than equal GTE 2014, and I'll say this is greater than or equal 2013. I'll name it as 2014. Done. That's it. I can have this one 2014 0101. So previously we have up to 13, right? If you see the 13 partition, it is up to 13. Good. So it's a 2013 12 31. Then for 2014 I have created one more partition. Done. Good. Now after that I'll click OK. Now after clicking OK, I have to deploy the cube. I'll pause the video. Yeah, my cube has been processed. I'll go back to the database connectivity. I'll see in the Visual like Management Studio. I'll connect to the Tabular server and see the partitions there. Yeah, I'll connect my Tabular server, analysis services. Click on this. I'll get connected to it. Oh, it was closed. Sorry. I'll again restart that. I have connected to my tabular model. Now if you see, I can when I open the desktop, I'll get the one which I have deployed. Here when I have the tables, I'll get all the tables here. If you see the internet sales, right click on it. Now you will have the partitions. When I click the partitions, I can see all the partitions that I have created. Previously it was only one, now I can see all the partitions. Now I can process the partitions like one or all the partitions. If you see, if I process all the partitions, because there are only few records, and 60 or 70,000 records, I guess it will be faster. If you can see, it hardly takes for me less than a minute to partition that. So it is faster. Close, done. Now if I want to partition only one, I'll select that one and just click OK. Good. Now it will be faster than the previous one. When you try to process like 4 million records, see, it is faster than the previous one. Okay, so this is how you are going to create a partition and process the data. So see you guys. We'll meet in the next video with other topics. Thank you. Bye.